Woohoo! We get to construct linear functions today. We're going to focus on just right here, writing from graphs today. And then we'll move on to tables and verbal descriptions later. But we're going to do graphs to start. And we already have a little experience with this, so it hopefully won't take too long. This is really important for you to read. Once you box that out and start, that's just a summary of everything we did in um, lesson 4. All right, so we know these two forms of our equations. This is for proportional linear, and this guy here is non-proportional linear. And the difference is this B part, there's no B there because a proportional linear relationship crosses the y-axis. The y-intercept is 0, right? And then, but if it's non-proportional, it doesn't cross. It crosses at a different spot than 0, so you have to put a number there where the B is. Otherwise, let's see anything else to review. The slope of a linear function is also known as rate of change. And then the y-intercept of a linear function is also known as the initial value. You can underline that. And then this is important. The initial value is the corresponding y value when x equals 0. Remember when I asked you to write equations for values in a table, and they listed the numbers, and what you had to do is go back and find that value there, because your y-intercept is always next to the 0 there. So this guy here is your y-intercept. How do you know? Because it's next to where x is 0. And that's what this says here. And we're going to have to apply that to some different situations as we go through these lessons in 5.3 here. All right. That's pretty much review. You already know all of that. You can see that they give you an example here where the slope, right, was calculated here. And then the initial value goes right there. We already know how to do that. Hopefully this makes sense and it's not something completely foreign to you because we've already studied it. All right, let's try some practice problems here. I'm trying to be quick because I only have 5 minutes on this free trial of this record program. So go ahead and look through this. It says construct linear functions from graphs. And linear functions are just the rule. We're going to be writing the rule for an equation. So let's see how it works. Here, step 1, start. Step 2, start. Step 3. This is it. You just do these 3 steps and you'll be good to go. So we look at the graph. We first find the rate of change. You connect the dots with our rise and our run. Now, a mistake that you might make is that you put 3 here instead of 300 because it goes up 1, 2, 3 blocks. But you always have to look over to the axis here and notice that it went from 400 up to 700. So that's a change of 300 dollars. Now, when we do our run, it's 4 boxes because, and the answer is 4, representing 4 months, because if we look down the axis there, it goes up by 1s. So our rate of change is 300 over 4, which we can see right here. So that would be how much per month? $75 in 1 month. So that is our rate of change, also known as our slope. Then we have find the initial value. What do they mean by initial value? That's our y-intercept. So that's right here. So that's going to be 100. So now we just take those 2 numbers, 75 and 100, and place them into our slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b. So we plop those, right? Plop those in there and there. So we get our function or our rule for this relationship. You guys are ready. You guys can do this. Whoa, I don't know what's going on here. It seems like, whoa, I don't know what it's doing.